Welcome to the Rex Brown large film wrap instructional video. We pride ourselves on effective production and packaging solutions, and we know that this can only be achieved through proper inductions and training around our streamlined packaging machinery. In this short instructional video, you will learn best practices for how to prepare the machine for daily production, how to operate and load the machine, how and when to use the emergency stop buttons located throughout the machine, practices for restarting the machine in the event of an emergency stop, how to change the film rolls, as well as how to shut the machine down and best practices to ensure the longevity of the machine going forward. First, we would like to highlight the proper factory safety gear all factory and machine operating personnel should wear whenever in the facility, being the luminescent safety jacket. To begin, preparing the machine and turning on. At the beginning of each workday, the first duty is to ensure the blue compressor located underneath the tunnel section of the machine is on. If not, please turn it on. Always make sure the compressor is at full pressure. Once this is done, go to the main control panel located at the side of the machine. Beginning from left to right, turn the large black and white on button clockwise until the small light above it turns on. Next is the tunnel temp. This is always set to a constant temperature and turns on automatically, so this is never to be adjusted at any point. Following this is the tunnel heater light. Press the button in, the green light should come on. The tunnel heating takes generally plus minus 10 minutes to heat up, so please allow this time before moving on. Along the tunnel heater, the tunnel conveyor belt as well as the exit fan should come on simultaneously when the tunnel heater is turned on. In the event that this does not happen, skip the emergency button and move on to the tunnel conveyor belt. Press the green button, which should light up. The tunnel speed above this button is preset and does not need to be adjusted at any point. Next, you will see the seal temperature gauge, which has also been preset and does not need to be manually set. Lastly is the exit fan, which if it has not automatically turned on will need to be manually switched on. How to load items and operate the machine. This large film machine has been designed to make the process of wrapping products simple and efficient. This can only be done if it is operated using its product feeding guidelines. Once the machine has warmed up and is ready to be used, place the product pack onto the metal feeding rollers. Make sure the product is standing up as upright as possible and is not leaning or bent over anywhere. Make sure that the product pack is running right up to the blue metal boundary line and is nice and straight. Next, place the second product pack alongside the first one. Ensure that they are placed right next to one another and are touching. There should not be any space between the two of them. Also ensure that they are completely in line with one another. They should be as straight and as upright as is possible. Once this is done, place the item order printout on the top in the center of the two product packs. Ideally, fold it slightly in between the two product packs to ensure it does not move while still making sure it is completely visible and legible. Once the product packs are in line and pressed against the blue metal boundary line, you can begin to manually push and feed them onto the black rubber conveyor belt. While being pulled onto the rubber conveyor belt, they will go through a seal or curtain of film and be covered by the film on all sides. The film curtain will then come down and meet at the bottom, where the product packs will then be covered by the film completely. Once this is complete, they will move through to the heating tunnel. The temperature within the tunnel is approximately 145 degrees, which allows the product packs to be neatly and securely shrink wrapped by the film on all sides. Once this process is complete, the newly joined product packs will exit the heating tunnel and will need to be removed from the metal rollers and packed onto the appropriate pallets. Stopping the machine. The machine has been designed with 5 emergency stop buttons in various places for convenience and safety. They are highlighted in red and yellow, and we ask that you please familiarize yourself with them. They are namely on the front, sides, and control panel. In the event of the emergency button being pressed, the machine will immediately turn completely off. This is for safety and security, as well as to preserve the machine from unnecessary damage. Please note that the machine will immediately shut down if the metal cage door surrounding the seal film wrapping conveyor belt is opened while in operation. The first response once the machine has been turned off is to confirm there is nothing in the heating tunnel. It is of utmost importance that no product packs stay in the heating tunnel longer than they should. Due to the temperature in the tunnel, no personnel should attempt to retrieve any items left in the heating tunnel. Before trying to solve any problems that may arise, you must ensure that there are no product packs in the heating tunnel. This is always priority. We would suggest in these situations that you turn the machine back on so that the item can move through the tunnel and safely out of the machine. Then begin to address the initial problem and work to solve it as soon as is possible. Restarting the machine. To restart the machine, the emergency button that initiated the stop needs to be reset. This can be done by turning the button until it pops out to its initial state. You will then need to move to the front of the machine where the green and black buttons are located next to another emergency stop button. To restart, press the green button to the right of the emergency stop. Then you will need to press the sealing button alongside the green one. Before this is done, ensure that there are no unnecessary objects in the machine's path and that the conveyor belts are free to receive product packs. Changing seals or film rolls. The instructions for how to properly change the sealing film can be found in the form of a black label on the side of the machine, closest to where the rolls are positioned. Please ensure the rolls are weaved around the feeding arms correctly. It is of utmost importance that the film is fed through on the correct side. Please ensure that in practice it is set up exactly the same way as is shown on the label example. It is also important to note that as much as is possible, the two rolls need to be in line with one another so that when they meet up in the center, they are flush together instead of having unnecessary wastage on the sides because of mismatching. End of day shutdown practices. At the close of business each day, the machine needs to be completely turned off. To begin this process, first turn off the tunnel heater at the control panel. Allow the heat reading in the tunnel to get below 70 degrees before proceeding to the next step. Once the tunnel has cooled down, you can then switch off power completely once again at the control panel. It is imperative that you open the valve on the underside of the blue compressor underneath the heating tunnel of the machine for a few seconds and close it again once complete. This needs to be turned open to release any built-up moisture in the compressor to ensure the longevity and smooth running of the machine going forward. Thank you for watching. We hope you have gained the understanding and knowledge about the machine to confidently operate the device in future. Please direct any questions about this video or the machine to your supervisor, who will be happy to help. For any further assistance, please contact the number visible on the left side of the heating tunnel.